Welcome to the Orion Bowl 2025 season. Oh, hello, and welcome to another perfectly on-time edition of the Commissioner video for the Orion Bowl NFL Fantasy League. This one being for week 11. Welcome. This is for the members of the Orion Bowl Fantasy League. And if you're not in that league, I don't know why you're here, but welcome. I won't physically stop you from watching. You might get some fantasy advice, more likely what not to do. Because there's some terrible decision making. Going to be having a look at what happened last week, what I think is going to happen this week, and also going to possibly look into Javonte Gate and some of the trades that have been going on. So let's start off with week 10. So the Baltimore Ravens cruised past the Dallas Stray Gorillas to basically keep their playoff hopes alive. So 5-5 means that I am reliant on Namath or the San Diego Harlots losing, so it's not entirely in my control. But hey, we're getting there. Team with no Namath managed to put a beating on the Forbesy Niners. The Arizona Cardinal managed to beat the Legion of Hot Trash, despite the fact that Legion had Jonathan Taylor putting up like 45 points. I mean, it did help that A-Chain also put up like 33 or 34 or whatever he did. The San Diego Harlots also put up a whopping 137 points on the Minnesota Vikings to keep their place in the playoffs for now. And the coach's sons, similar to the Baltimore Ravens, keep their playoff hopes alive by getting past Baby Got Dak. So now I am going to take a quick look at what's been going on in the trades. Brought to you this week by checkertrade.com, where reputation matters. Checkertrade.com. Checkertrade.com. Find trusted trades people. For trusted trades, for trustworthy trades, for trades that are trustworthy. I don't think you'll find any of those trades, any of our league's trades on checkertrade.com. I think that they would certainly sully the reputation of checkertrade.com. But so let's start with the trade between myself and Arizona Cardinal. Arizona Cardinal we might have gone out for a few beers on, what was it, Thursday night, England game, wasn't it? Yeah. So after a couple of beers, I don't know why I thought it was a good idea, but I have somehow traded away Bucky Irving. It's not ideal. Although, if we're being fair, because the trade is Matthew Stafford and Bucky Irving for Stephon Diggs and Drake London. Now, I don't need Matthew Stafford anymore because Josh Allen's played his bye week. You know, is he an excellent backup? Absolutely. He's a starter in most teams, but he's not a starter on my team. You're not playing him over Josh Allen. It's just not happening. He might outscore Josh Allen some weeks. I'll acknowledge that, but you're not playing him over Josh Allen. It's just not a thing. You're not doing it. I'm not doing it. You're not doing it. Don't pretend like you would do it. You wouldn't play Matthew Stafford over Josh Allen. Don't lie, right? Anyway, Matthew Stafford, but also Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving has been sitting on my injured list for the longest time now. And he only actually had one really kind of above average game before that point. So I'm taking Stephon Diggs and Drake London. Now, Drake London has actually been, I think he's been a top 3 fantasy quarterback for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So he's definitely in form. He's number 8 on the season. So I put him together with Emeka Edgebooker. I think that's actually pretty... At first, I was mortified that I traded away Bucky Irving, but actually, what I need are players that are playing now. Bucky Irving's out this week. It's not guaranteed he'll be back the week after. I need players now. And Arizona needs players in the playoffs. So that's actually a pretty fair trade. That's a pretty good one. AJ Brown for Kyle Monongai, because basically I decided that I do need at least one backup running back. And AJ Brown, he's too hit and miss. He's too hit and miss for me. I can't ever put him in with any confidence. He's had one outstanding week where he did 21 points. Other than that, he's done absolutely nothing all season. But he is still AJ Brown. He still is getting the most targets on the Philadelphia offense, who are going to come good at some point. So I think that there is some upside to AJ Brown, but obviously, Coleman on guy, he's splitting the backfield with Swift at Chicago. They're not a particularly good team. he is 100% a backup running back. Now, it's almost better than Bucky in a way, because Bucky, you're kind of deciding whether you put him in or not once he gets healthy, that is. Whereas Monongai is definitely not getting in over Rico Dowdle, Bijan Robinson, or Quinshon Judkins. I'm just not doing it. So he's a perfect backup, and I didn't need any more wide receivers because obviously I've just traded for two of the buggers. Now let's take a look at the controversial trade between the San Diego Harlots and the Dennis Stray Gorillas. I'm not being funny, but how do you live with yourself, Dennis Stray? God, what is that? You literally traded away the fifth best quarterback on the league, Mr. Indiana Jones himself, and you traded him away for the number 28th defense on the league. You could have picked up any defense off the waiver wire. I feel like you're just strengthening the Harlots at this point. Look, fine, look. All we can do, guys, look, I know that the trade caused a massive outcry in the group. And bottom line is, all we can do is vote against it. I don't think that's a particularly fair trade, because it just seems like it's throwing away, it's gifting Harlots a very good quarterback, and he's not had to give up anything for it. So I need the Harlots to lose, if I'm being honest. So look, hopefully karma will get him. But yeah, no, I mean, look, it is what it is. People are gonna trade, and if you don't like the trade, vote against it. There's no point bitching at me in the WhatsApp group, right? I was just saying, like, a trade is a trade, a trade is a trade. And yeah, don't forget, trade deadline, 21st of November. So that's on Friday. And that's it for the trade check with checkertrade.com, where reputation matters. Let's take a look at week 11 then. Good Lord. So the Baltimore Ravens taking on Baby Got Dak. Now, Baby Got Dak have already played, you played, Borealis and Brees Hall and got 15 points. It's not ideal, is it? So I've got Josh Allen, Dowdle, Robinson. I'm probably going to be playing, what's his face? Drake London this week. The wide receivers I'll be playing are going to be Drake London and Emeka Edgebooker. Travis Kelce's back, Quinshon Judkins, Myers. Playing the Packers against the Giants this week, just because I know they've got Jameson Winston in there, but he's a gunslinger. I like that, but I don't think the offense are particularly good. I think that the Packers defense should get a couple of interceptions on that game. So yeah, that's what I'm going for. I don't know if Dak finds his way back into this one. Jefferson could have a huge game. Cook could have a huge game. If Cook has a huge game, that's bad for Josh Allen. I will say that. Jordan Love, Bowers, Vidal. Look, for me, I'll be honest, I'm going to back my guys here. I do think the Baltimore Ravens should win from this point. But do you know what? Every time I predict myself to win, it seems to go the other way. So who knows? Then you've got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Forbes-Inanas. Hurts versus Herbert, Jacobs versus Henry. Henry's not been on great form this season, but any game he can pop off. Goddard as well. You've got Javonte Williams. That's the other thing. Javonte Gate. The Gorillas dropping the fifth best quarterback in the league. Running back in the league. Why? What the hell happened? What the hell happened? Just tell us what the hell happened. Like, surely that must have been unintentional, because there's no way you could intentionally drop the best, one of the best running backs on the season, just to gift them to the Forbes, to Mr. I'm going to sit and not use the waiver wire until a really good player comes up. It's a great strategy, actually. I can't hate on the 49ers for that. Like, they've been sitting there holding on to that number one waiver wire priority for the whole season, basically. And then he got Javonte Williams. So because of that, the Forbes-Niners win. And let's move on to the next matchup. We've got the Coach's Sons versus the San Diego Harlots. This one is interesting. I do need the Suns to win, really. But I also need to win. As long as I win and the Suns win, I think I go ahead, because I've scored more than the Suns so far, I believe. Because head-to-head is now just on points scored. Because that's the fairest way to do it with the randomised schedule. Because What I might do is do the schedule manually next year. Just do like mix it up, but also have it so everyone plays each other twice, apart from 3 people. Because at the moment we've got like Namath playing Legion 3 times. And it doesn't make sense. Either way, the Harlots obviously now have the help of Indiana Jones, because they were going to have to play Jacoby Brissett, which is awful. Burrow's on IR, so you can't use him. So I mean, Indiana Jones, that's a huge upgrade for the Harlots, and because of that, mind you, Baker Mayfield is probably at least on par. You've got McCaffrey, who's still healthy. Week 11, McCaffrey's still healthy. I can't believe it either. McCaffrey, Jamar Chase, Addison, McBride. I'm taking the coach's sons in that one. I think Karma is going to come back and bite the Harlots in the backside. At least I hope that's going to be the case, because that trade, I mean, honestly, getting Indiana Jones for the Dallas Cowboys defense, it's just, oh, sorry, I threw up in my mouth a little bit there. God, how do you sleep at night? Both of you. The team in No Namath taking on the Legion of best team in the league, but it's the Legion of best team in the league sans Jonathan Taylor, because obviously they're on bye this week. So actually, I just realised that the Harlots aren't going to have any help from Indiana Jones this week because they are on a bye. So he's going to have to play Jacoby Brissett. Oh, that stings. So that's not great. Drake May, what did he put up? 15.44. That's not. It's not great, but Namath would have wanted better than that. If I know Namath, and I do, they wanted better than 15.44 from the best quarterback in the league, Drake May. They got Etienne, Jeanty, CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins. The Lamb and Collins haven't been on particularly great form this season. Jeanty, he's got the hype, certainly. I think he's going to be more of a player for next season, if I'm totally honest. Etienne's solid. He's a bell cow running back. Rashee Rice obviously hasn't quite found the form that he needs as of yet. Legion are playing Sam Laporta, who's on IR, which is a bold move. It's a bold move. Remove him because he's been on IR for a few days. Get your lineup correct. You know the consequences. Ramondre Stevenson also on IR. I would recommend putting in O'Gadson, the LA Chargers tight end, who is sitting on your bench currently, Legion. So obviously Kamara, Pittman, and Taylor, they're all on bye weeks. So, yeah, it's not looking great. Algier has actually been scoring pretty well, which is annoying for me because I'm a Bijan Robinson owner. Rashad White, that's a very good play because he's the only running back in Tampa Bay right now, but they're not a particularly run-heavy team. Looking at it on balance, I do think the team with no Namath probably cruised to victory in that one. As much as I hate to see it, because I need Namath to drop a couple of games really before the end of the season so that I can kind of sneak my way into the playoffs, kind of diddle my way in. Dennis Trey Gorillas taking on the Arizona Cardinal. Now, Dennis Trey have already got 27 points from Trevion Henderson. That's an excellent pickup. It was a trade, wasn't it? He traded him for T. Higgins, which is that was actually a pretty fair trade because that's an elite wide receiver for obviously Henderson, who's really popping off because Ramondre Stevenson is out, OUWT out. So yeah, I think with that kind of head start, you really have to pick the Gorillas because you got Joe Flacco for the Cardinal, who's been hit and miss going against Mahomes. Mahomes probably puts up more points there. A-Chain's probably going to put up some numbers. Mark's probably not. Drake London will be playing for the Baltimore Ravens. Puka Nacua will probably put up numbers. Mark Andrews, I don't know what he's going to do. Look, Mark Andrews, you're playing Mark Andrews, you're playing him because you think he's going to score. He's very touchdown dependent. He'll either score and put up 12 or he won't and you'll get 1.8. That's literally what you're getting with Mark Andrews. Stephon Diggs will be sitting on the Baltimore Ravens bench, but he's already played. So I don't know how that works with points. To be fair, I'm sure. I think you still keep the points. I'm sure you must do because your lineup's locked because he's locked in. It's going to be interesting to find out. We'll find out more after the break. But yeah, so Kareem Hunt, Williams on your bench, Kincaid's out, Boonix is on your bench, rightfully so. Yeah, I've got to lean with getting 27 points from Henderson. I'm leaning towards the Gorillas in that one. That is the video for this week, guys. If I picked you to win, prove me right. If I picked you to lose, prove me wrong. And I'll see you next week.